Hi everybody, welcome to the very first Makers Monday of 2024. I am so excited to be back with you here today after a little holiday break, but I'm excited to be back and joining you here from a very chilly Tucson, Arizona. I hope you all had an amazing holiday time, whether you spent it with friends and family, you got a little crafting in, and you just had a wonderful holiday season. Now, let me just make sure that I'm live here on Facebook. If you're watching, make sure to comment, say hi, let me know where you're joining me from. Looks like I am live here on Facebook, so good to go there. I'm also live over on YouTube as well, so if you are watching me over on YouTube, make sure to comment, let me know that you were able to join me. Hi Carol, hi Veronica. I hope you guys had an amazing holiday time. It's so great to see you and to have you back here today. Now, I am so excited, like I said, today is the very first Makers Monday of 2024, and we are going to be kicking things off with the January to April mini catalog. Now, I have already mailed out my catalog, so if you are on my customer list, you should have already received yours, but if you are not and you want a copy of the new catalog, there is a link in the description of this video and you can request a copy of the catalog here. I'm just trying to get my mouse out of the way so I can see the comments. There we go. All right, so the January to April mini catalog, I have it right here. I had it already turned to the page that I'm going to show you guys later, but here is the catalog. I love the mini catalog. I feel like the spring one I tend to like a little bit more than the holiday one, just because the spring one tends to have those brighter colors, those really fun themes, and that's what I tend to gravitate towards crafting. So I'm excited to bring you projects today featuring the brand new Bee Mine Valentine suite. We're going to be using the designer series paper, the coordinating ribbon, the embellishments, and everything in between, and I'm really excited to show you guys this stamp set. So let's go ahead and swap the camera. I have a couple things to go over and then we will jump right into our projects here today. So the first thing is today is the deadline to register for January's Club Craft and Create. This also features the Bee Mine Valentine bundle. So if you sign up for Club Craft and Create, you can recreate Makers Monday projects as well with the products, supplies that we're going to be using for Club Craft and Create. Now, Club Craft and Create, you create 4 different designs to each of those cards for a total of 8. Now, this month we are making 3 different card designs and a 3D box. So I wanted to show you that little box. Here is what it looks like. Very fun. You can open it up here. And this is the perfect size to put, candy. I've seen people put socks in these, like rolled up. So just a really fun project, but we'll be making 2 of these in Club Craft and Create, as well as our 3 other projects this month. So this is a kind of a fun fold card here. We have this one that says "You Make My Heart Buzz," and then 1 Valentine's Day project. I didn't want to do too many Valentine's Day projects. I know not everybody celebrates Valentine's Day, so you can easily swap out the sentiment here for another one. But this is Club Craft and Create in person here in Tucson. Oh, my computer's sliding. Just a second. There we go. In person here in Tucson on Tuesday next week already. And then if you're not here in Tucson, you receive a pre-recorded video. That is a change that I'm doing this year. A pre-recorded video with step-by-step directions on how to put together these projects. So the deadline to register for this is tonight. The link to the description of the class, what it entails, everything that's included is in the description of this video. So you can learn all about Club Craft and Create. You can sign up for 1 month, or you can continue on and automatically be signed up for next month, however you want to do it. So that's Club Craft and Create. We're going to be using the same bundle that I'm using today for Makers Monday, so you can kind of stretch your projects a little bit further. Now, speaking of classes, on my website, stampinblondie.com, I have my class schedule now posted from January to April. Now, keep in mind, all subjects are based on product availability. So if I have something listed here and it is sold out at the moment, that I'll have to change the class theme. But this is my template for classes for the next 4 months. So there is a front and a back side here. We have Club Craft and Create, which is I just talked about. We have classes to go with the bestie stampers. And then I have a virtual stamp camp coming up in February, as well as Stampin' Bingo. The deadline to register for winter Stampin' Bingo is over, but come May, we'll be doing a mega Stampin' Bingo. This will be my last one in Tucson before I move this summer. Details on how to sign up for all these classes and the registration deadlines and all that's on the website. You just go to website stampinblondie.com. Up at the top, there's classes and a drop down, and you can see current classes. All the way at the bottom is that schedule for upcoming events. All right. The big thing that's going on right now is Stampin' Up's Celebration. If you are not too familiar with what Celebration is, it's Stampin' Up's biggest promotion that they now host once a year. So everybody that received catalogs from me also received a Celebration brochure. The items in this catalog can't be purchased outright. They are free with a qualifying order. Now, I will be using one of these items on our projects here today, and that is the Softly Sophisticated Bundle. I'll be showing you the embossing folder, but this actually comes with a stamp set and a embossing folder together, so you get 2. I'll also be focusing on this for our prize patrol today. This is the Sunny Days Designer Series paper. So all you have to do is share this video, comment that you shared, and you'll be entered in to win a full package of the Sunny Days Designer Series paper. Now this coordinates with a product from our new mini catalog, so you can use that to pair with your Designer Series paper. All you have to do is share the video and you're entered into prize patrol. Now, if your wish list is longer than $100, well, $99, Celebration is the best time to join Stampin' Up. So during the month of January and February, you get to choose the normal $125. I'm gonna put this over here so it's just not in the way. $125 worth of product for $99. And then there's 2 add-on options. Let me grab the first one. So the first one is a glass matte bundle. Now it's going to reflect my lights, so just kind of disregard that. This is 17 inches by 14 inches, so it's a really big, I can't even get it on the entire screen here, but it is glass matte. Now if you've never worked with a glass matte before and you're not too familiar with how to use this, you can use this for even stamping surfaces. If you like to do a lot of mixed media with embossing paste or with our blending brushes, this is so easy to clean up your mess with. All you have to do is wipe it off and that is it. So you don't have to worry about anything sticking to paper. So option 1, if you join Stampin' Up during January and February, is the glass matte. If maybe you already have a glass mat, you can then add $30 more of additional product of your choice. So $155 worth of product for only $99. There is no requirement to teach classes, do Facebook Lives. You can be what I deem a happy shopper and purchase for yourself. You don't even have to sell to your friends. So Now is the best time to join Stampin' Up! And the Stampin' Blondie team. If you have questions about becoming a demonstrator or anything during celebration, please reach out to me. I offer my team some great additional benefits. All of my class PDF tutorials you get for free. So it's a great time to join Stampin' Up! And you can get that fun glass mat. And there's some other things that come with the glass mat too. I just didn't want to pull them all out. All right, let's jump into our 3 projects today. Oh, first, I already talked about Prize Patrol a little bit already, but from 2 weeks ago, or a couple weeks ago, before I went on my holiday break, I was giving away a golden voucher for $25 gift certificate to Stampin' Up! For Prize Patrol, and I wanted to draw that and let everybody know who the winner is. So the winner of the Prize Patrol from a couple weeks ago is Peggy Barth. Now, Peggy, I have your information already, so I will pop this in the mail for you. But congratulations, Peggy. Thank you for sharing my video before the holidays. You are the recipient of a $25 golden voucher, and I will, once you receive this, I'll definitely be helping you put it into an order because there's some code that you have to put in. But congratulations, Peggy. Thank you for sharing my video, and thank you for everybody else that shared my last Makers Monday. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Yesterday on my Facebook and my website, I shared this little project here. It holds 2 of these little Russell Stover candies. Now, I got these at Dollar General. They had a couple different flavors. Now, this box is great because it fits a variety of different supplies in here, and it also can fit a gift card too. So you could always put the gift card on top here and a little bit of candy at the bottom. So this is a great little box. I will tell you that I cased, meaning copy and share, this box from the Paper Pixie, but I modified it because she put in like some dividers in here, so I took the dividers out. So I decorated the box. She came up with the box design. I wanted to give her credit for that. But this is a fun little box. You can see on my website all the details on how to put that together. Now, our 3 projects that we're going to create today, we've got this little one. I love this sentiment because it says, "You're as sweet as honey." And if you didn't know, back in October, my husband and I adopted a dog, a shelter dog, from our local rescue. She was a stray, and we named her Honey. So this, I love this. As soon as I saw this sentiment, I had to get this. So "You're as sweet as honey" with some little bumblebees and honey pots. And this is that project that uses that new embossing folder. This one says, "You make my heart buzz." Kind of hard to probably see. Oh, there. You can see right here. There's that embossing folder in the background. And then this one, "You'll always be the one for me." I love the little punny sentiments, and this bee is super cute. So let's go ahead and make these projects. If you hear the noise in the background, I have my little heater going on in my craft room. My craft room faces north, and I have trees outside, so I rarely get sunlight in here, so it's very cold. So I have the little space heater going in here to kind of warm things up. All right, here's the stamp set, Bee Mine Valentine. This is a photopolymer stamp set, meaning completely see-through and clear. You can see exactly where you're stamping. 24 stamps. If you follow me, you know I love stamp sets that have both images and sentiments together. So this is a perfect stamp set. And it's also offered in a bundle which it has a coordinating punch to go with it. Now, you may be seeing this punch here, and of course we see the little bumblebee, but I see other things that can be used for this as well. So this little design here, you can create conversation bubbles. We have, of course, 2 heart shapes. So very fun to be able to use a punch more than its just intended purpose. So I really like that you can create different things with this punch and kind of stretch your dollars for that one product there. All right, we're gonna create this first card here, Pool Party is what I used. Don't forget, on my website you can print out my free project PDF tutorial. It has all of the items, names, numbers, prices, and then at the bottom the dimensions of the 3 projects that we're going to work on here today. Now, if you want this week, don't forget, I also offer these projects as a class to go. So this is what you would receive. A $35 order on my website using the host code that's listed. You get all the supplies here. If you place an order of $50 or more, you'd also get a package of the hearts and flowers, adhesive backed little gems here, but then also at $50 you get a free celebration item too. So it's best to kind of go for that free celebration item and kind of get more for your money there. All right, so here is our project kit. Now here's that embossing folder. I hope you guys can see it. Let me bring it a little closer. This is the Softly Sophisticated. This is that celebration item. A very nice embossing folder because it goes with a lot of different things, and that's how I like to get my supplies. I have already pre-embossed my cardstock with that just because I didn't want to pull out the big Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine to show you that embossing folder, but I've already pre-embossed that for you. We have a piece of Sweet Sorbet cardstock as well as that designer series paper. And I have a piece of just spare white cardstock that we're gonna punch with our sentiment and the heartfelt hexagon punch. All right, first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna fold our Pool Party cardstock in half, and I'm gonna flip it over where the embossing is side down, and then I'm gonna use my bone folder on the back. Normally I use my bone folder on both sides, but if I press too hard, it's going to push the embossing back down into the cardstock. So I want to keep it raised, so I'm only going to use my my bone folder on the back side of the card. So we've got our Sweet Sorbet designer series paper. You could really use either side, but I like this little bumblebee pattern here. And we're going to use our Stampin' Seal adhesive. Let me get that to catch. There we go. On this side. And then on our Sweet Sorbet, we're going to use multi-purpose liquid glue. And I'm using that glue to adhere down to the cardstock because we have embossed paper that we are gluing that to, and we just want to make sure that it really adheres to the cardstock. I found when you're working with embossed paper, multi-purpose liquid glue works the best for keeping that adhered. So, hi Peggy, glad you're watching. You're welcome. I will get that in the mail for you, and I'm sure you're going to get some great supplies with your golden ticket there. All right, we're going to stamp our sentiment, just a spare piece of basic white. Let me see if I have anyone smaller here. Nope, we'll just use this one. So I'm going to stamp this using Sweet Sorbet ink, and the sentiment says, "You make my heart buzz." We're also going to use Petal Pink ink. So we've got our little flowers and our sentiment. There we go. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp the flowers. Oh, we're going to punch this out first. Just a second. This punch is what is holding my computer up. So my computer folds into a tablet. So right now it's set as a tablet, and this punch was holding it in place, but I had to move that out of the way. I need the punch. There we go. Maybe it'll stay back in its place now. Let's see. There. All right, we've got our heartfelt hexagon punched out shape, and we're gonna stamp 2 flowers using Petal Pink ink. Say that 3 times fast. Petal Pink ink. And that's gonna go in the upper corner and the lower corner here. And then right in the middle is gonna go our sentiment that says, "You make my heart buzz." This is a great layout if you have lots of designer series paper that you want to get rid of. This is a great layout. It uses, it's 3 3/8 by 4 3/8. So you have a good kind of use of designer series paper there, and a great way to use up any scraps you may have. All right, so we have our sentiment piece here, and we are going to take some of this. This is the Sweet Sorbet bordered ribbon, and we're just going to take probably about, maybe about 4 inches, I'd say 3 inches. And what we're going to do is we're going to fold this in half, but we're going to have the ends kind of in a flag. So they're not going to be equal with each other. You just want them offset a little bit. We're going to take our bone folder and press that down just to kind of get it to stay folded like that. We want that kind of crisped up line there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my trusty Scotch tape, and we're going to add this to the back of our sentiment piece with just a little bit of Scotch tape. Nobody's going to see the back, so it doesn't matter what kind of adhesive you use, but I love Scotch tape because it's quick, easy, and you don't have to wait for anything to dry. So that's our little sentiment piece there. We're going to flip that over and add some dimensionals to the back here. And this is going to help it, with it being popped up, it won't be uneven from that piece of ribbon that we have there. There we go. And that's going to go right in the corner here of our card. Now you may have missed it, kind of hard to see, but there are 2 petal pink hearts. There's a larger one there and a smaller one here. So those are from those Hearts and Flowers little gems. And I'm going to use my take your pick tool on these because this works really good. We're going to add 1 of the larger hearts and then 1 of the smaller hearts. And there is our first project today, featuring the Bee Mine Valentine bundle from the new mini catalog. I hope you guys like this one. A very fun project to put together, great for beginner stampers. Anybody can punch out a shape, and then the stamps just really make it pop there. So I hope you guys like this one. And then look, depending on where you cut your designer series paper, everyone is gonna look just a little bit different for that project. So there's our first project today with the Bee Mine Valentine. All right, let's put that away off to the side here. We are gonna create our second project. Where did they go? Under here. This is our second project today with the Your Sweet as Honey, and it has the little honey pots, and we're gonna stamp and punch out that bumblebee. All right, so first we have a piece of basic white cardstock, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. So we're gonna fold that in half and use our bone folder. Oops. We're gonna get these out of the way too. Here we go. Now our piece of designer series paper, 2 inches by 4 1/4. So if you are making a lot of this design, 2 inches, you would get 6 rows of strips from your designer series paper. At 4 1/4, you would then get 2 per row. So you can have a bunch of cards from 1 sheet of designer series paper, and then your other pieces just use some scrap cardstock. So a great card to be able to use up any scraps that you may have. So our first thing is we're gonna add our designer series paper. I'm using liquid glue just because I wanna make sure I have it all lined up right on the edge of that cardstock. So that's gonna go right there. Now before we lay down our piece of Sweet Sorbet cardstock, we're gonna stamp using this little heart that comes in the stamp set. Now that heart coordinates with the heart from the punch. I'm not gonna be punching out those teeny tiny little hearts today, but what we're gonna do is we're just gonna take our Sweet Sorbet ink on Sweet Sorbet cardstock, and we're just gonna kind of create our own pattern paper. When I first created this project, I didn't have the hearts. I may go off screen a little bit just so I can see where I'm stamping. I didn't have the hearts on my cardstock, and it just looked a little plain. It needed something else on there. So I added these little hearts, and I thought it made it look really cute when it was on the card. So just going right down, you can eyeball it. It doesn't have to be exactly straight up and down. That's okay if one of your hearts is off a little bit. And then our last one right down there. Okay. Next, we're going to take our piece of stamped paper and we're going to add this right up against that piece of designer series paper. So that's going to also go on with liquid glue, just so we have a few seconds to kind of move it right where we want it on our card. So just add that right on there. Go. And then our last bit is a piece of basic black cardstock. Same thing, liquid glue on the back, and then right up against that piece here. Here we go. Okay, we have a piece of Daffodil Delight cardstock. That's what we're gonna stamp our sentiment on. That says, "You're as sweet as honey." We're gonna use Tuxedo Black Memento ink. So we've got that to go right in the middle here. There we go. And then our spare piece of basic white, we're gonna kind of move these off to the side here. Our spare piece of basic white, we're gonna stamp our bumblebee and then punch that out. So the first thing you wanna do is, this is the body of the bee. So we're gonna stamp that in Daffodil Delight. Ink that up really, really well. And that's just gonna go right there. The outside of, or the body portion of the bee has its own stamp. Now the best part about this is that you can make your bee go pointing to the right, pointing to the left, pointing down, pointing up, so it can go all different directions. That's what I really like about this set, is that it's not just the bumblebee going in one direction. You can really kind of change all the different directions on here. So this is gonna get lined up right there. And then while we have the black still open, the stamp, where's the case? Right here. So the case has 3 different little faces that you can put on the bumblebee. For all the cards today, I'm just gonna use this little smiley face, but if you make these projects, you can do the winking or the little extra happy. Actually, there's 4. There's this little guy up here too. So you can kind of switch them up, but I'm just gonna keep them all the same, just so I don't have to have a ton of different stamps out today. So there's our little bumblebee, so cute. We're gonna punch it out. It's very easy to line up, so let's just, I did it a little too close to the edge, so let's just trim some of that out. But really, anybody can punch this out. Very simple to do. Gotta cut some more out so the punch can fit. Hi, Barb in Tucson. Did you get any snow yesterday? I know some people in Tucson got quite a bit of snow. I didn't get any snow at my house, but snow in Tucson. We probably get snow like once a year in Tucson. It's, I wouldn't say it's a rare occurrence because it happens like once a year, but it's very rare to get snow here in Tucson, but it's cold. Like today was very cold. Okay, so we have our little bumblebee here, but he needs wings. So I have, this is a piece of the Vellum Basics. This package of vellum, it comes with dots, like lines, and then there's one other pattern, and it's in our annual catalog. They're 12 by 12 sheets of vellum paper, but all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna punch out the larger heart, and that's gonna give us the wings of our bumblebee here. Now, normally with vellum, you don't want to use liquid glue because you can see exactly where you're adding the glue. But because the wings are behind the bee, you won't see. And there we go. We have our little bumblebee. Super cute, very easy to put together. You could add the little antenna if you want, but I just like that little guy like that. So we're gonna assemble our card. We have the little honeycomb stamp in the upper left, or upper right. So we're gonna add that, and our Daffodil Delight. And that's just gonna go, oh, just a little more ink there. It's gonna go right there. And we also have a little honey pot that I cut from the designer series paper. So let's get that. Just one of the scraps of paper here. We're just gonna cut out that little honey pot. No snow, just cold rain. Yes, I got cold rain here too. And man, so I parked my car in the driveway last night because my husband's car was getting detailed in the garage, and I went to go to work this morning and my car door was frozen shut. And there was ice on my front window, and I will tell you, in Tucson I do not have an ice scraper, so I had to sit in my car while it defrosted a few minutes. It was so funny. It's like I had forgotten how to, you know, do anything in the cold when it came to the car. I always park my car in the garage so I didn't have to worry about anything, you know, getting iced over. And of course I don't have an ice scraper here, so I just sat in the car and waited for it to warm up. I did auto start it a little bit, but it's like you forget everything when you live in Tucson about it being cold. All right, we're gonna add some dimensionals to the back of our sentiment piece here. Yes, Courtney, could it be any cuter? I love these. Love the little bee. She said North Charlotte here. Do you have a lot of, are you gonna get that big snowstorm that I hear like coming across the Midwest? My mom lives in Iowa. She's watching right now, and I think they're supposed to get like 6 to 12 inches of snow. No, thank you. No. All right, that little honeybee is gonna go there, and then the final, our honey pot that we cut out, we're gonna add one dimensional to the back of that, and that's gonna tuck under our little sentiment piece here, just like that. Now, as a final touch, I just added one of those little red flowers to the upper left. I didn't want to take away from too much down here. I didn't want to add. So one of the larger flowers right here so you can see it. And that's our second card here today for the Bee Mine Valentine Makers Monday. I hope you guys like this one. Dawn, we have over 12 inches of snow, and tomorrow we're expecting some more snow before it warms up with rain and heavy winds. Gosh, I mean, I was talking to my mom at Christmas. I mean, I talked to her more than that, but she said at Christmas they they didn't have anything, and it was a warm winter, and now all of a sudden, bam, winter. Yeah, Peggy, you just said that too. We had a brown Christmas in Minnesota, and we're just getting an inch of snow. I just called it Minnesota. Being from Iowa, I mean, we've called it Minnesota because they get a lot of snow up there, but apparently not this year. All right, last project here today. This one features the Scallop Contours dies, and then that punny little sentiment, you'll always be the one for me. So we're gonna put that together. We have our Petal Pink cardstock card base. This is a 4 1/4 by 11. There we go. A piece of Sweet Sorbet cardstock. So this is gonna go on with our Stamp and Seal here. Yes, Dawn is in Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania. Every time I send you something, I love the name of the town. Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania. It always makes me laugh. All right, we have a piece of designer series paper. This is the yellow gingham on one side. Here's the other side. Very, very cute. This is the little bee that I used for that box. I just cut out one of the little bees. So that designer series paper is great for different card designs here too. But we're gonna use the yellow gingham side on this. And that'll go right there in the middle. Now I've pre-die cut a piece of basic white cardstock from that Scallop Contours dies. That's from the annual catalog. And I'm just gonna use this white, actually I'll use the blue so you can see what I'm doing. I'm just gonna use this as my, my card to cover my workspace, if I could think of the word, because we're just gonna stamp this little bee buzz part here, and some of it's gonna come off the edge. But the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna stamp our sentiment that says, "You'll always be the one for me," and that is in Sweet Sorbet. And I wanna do this first because this shows me where my little buzz part is gonna go. So there we go. The forecast has now changed to 8 to 14 inches. Oh, no, thank you. You can keep that, Mom. All right, our little, like stem, thinking of the word. I'm losing all of my thoughts here today. All I can think of is snow and how that does not sound fun. All right, the little stem is gonna be Parakeet Party, and that's gonna go off to the side of our sentiment. And then that flower from the first project, we're gonna stamp that again in Petal Pink on top of our little stem here. So that's gonna go right there. I'm gonna keep this out because we're gonna need that to stamp another part, but some of this can go over here. Our little buzz, the little trail, we're gonna stamp that next with our black. That's kind of gonna go, I just eyeballed it really right there. Now that we have our black open, just gonna move that off to the side, bring back in our scrap piece of paper, and we're gonna stamp the bee again. So the body, this part, and then we also need the wings because we're gonna stamp the wings this time. So the first thing is our Daffodil Delight. So we're gonna stamp that first. We'll do it lower this time. There we go. Close that up, put that away. Stamp the body next. That's gonna go right there. And the face, here's the itty bitty little face. There. And now we're gonna do the wings. Now the wings we're gonna cut from this punch here. So I'm gonna stamp that off to the side over here so that I can easily get, oh, it'd help if you could see. I'm gonna punch it or stamp it over here so that I can get the punch in there a little bit easier and not waste too much of the paper. So the wings here, you can see, it's 2 layers. So one layer is the Petal Pink with the black outline. The second layer is that vellum from the first project that we did. So we're gonna stamp our outline or the inside shading in Petal Pink. And then the outline is gonna be basic black, well, tuxedo black. There we go. And now we're ready to punch. So we'll do this wing first. Get it all lined up there. Ooh. And then we can punch another one in this scrap paper of our vellum. There we go. And then our bee, right there. There's our bee. Now, same thing with this one. We are going to layer using our liquid glue. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna add a little bit of liquid glue to the bottom of the petal pink, and we're gonna offset the wings just a little bit so you can see that there's two pieces there. And then from that, you'll add a little bit of glue to the vellum at the bottom, and then your bee. So it's just a step up from the last one that we made. The last one was just the vellum. This is the vellum and the stamp together. So just another way to kind of step it up for more advanced crafters. On the back of this, we're gonna add our dimensionals here. Here we go. And that's gonna go right where that buzz trail is at. Come on. So it'll go right there. Above that, we're gonna add a little red heart. So the same heart that we used before. And that's just gonna go right there. A little heart. All right. We're gonna add more dimensionals to the back of this. And that's gonna help it kind of pop up just to make it stay there, right there. Hi, Penny. I hope you had a great Christmas. And that's gonna go in the middle of our card. Now, the final touch, we added one of those little small white flowers from the Hearts and Flowers. So this little petal, it's gonna go right in the middle of our flower here. So just kind of gives it a little bit more dimension, doesn't take away from the rest of the card. Just a little added pop there. You can see it's right there on the middle of the flower. And that is our last project today, featuring the Bee Mine Valentine bundle from the new mini catalog. I hope you guys like this project too. I think this is probably my favorite one today. So we've got that one. I do like the honey one though, only because my dog's name is Honey. And then right there. So let me know in the comments which one is your favorite today. We have the You'll Always Be the One for Me, You're As Sweet as Honey, or the You Make My Heart Buzz. So let me know which one is your favorite here today. All right, well, thank you everybody for joining me for another week of Makers Monday. Don't forget, if you're interested in receiving this week's projects as a class to go, make sure to place your order using the host code that's shown on the screen by this Thursday night at midnight Arizona time, and I will send you the project pieces for this week's class. Don't forget, if your order is $50 or more, you get a free package of the Hearts and Flowers embellishments, as well as your choice of a celebration item. Also, don't forget, if you're wanting to register for January's Club Craft and Create featuring this Bee Mine Valentine, the details are in the description of this video. Deadline to register is tonight. I look forward to seeing you next week for another week of Makers Monday. Until then, make sure to stay warm, and I will see